Several important things that Bajrang Punia did put out there. He speaks about the cases against these wrestlers and athletes are going to be taken back, those registered. The respect for women and how women and females are going to be looked at in this particular, sport is going to go through reformations. That's something that the sports minister has assured Bajrang Punia of. The farmers' support. Bajrang Punia said that for 15th of June, till the 15th of June, until the police, carries out its investigation, does it have the evidence, does it not have the evidence, whatever final report it submits in the court, the timeline has been extended till the 15th of June. So till the 15th of June, it seems like the restless protest is now going to be on a pause, on a temporary hold. In the meantime, Bajrang Punia said that he's going to be speaking to all the people that lent support to the wrestlers, in which comes the farmers. Now, let's not forget, Mahapanchayats have taken place. Khap Panchayats have constantly backed these the athletes. Rakesh Tikait today said that when it comes to MSP, an even bigger protest, a protest bigger than the one we saw in Delhi when the 3 farm laws were being demanded to repeal, that something bigger than that will have to happen. Now, Bajrang Punia said that within 2 days' time, we're going to speak to people who lent support to us. We'll put forth this proposal in front of them and then take the next action, whatever it's going to be.
Right, Kabir. Look, the wrestlers have been given time till June 15th. That's what we know for sure as of now. And the protest is not over. How I see it is for a fact that the government has started to blink. Okay. First, we saw there was no one ready to speak to them. Second, then there was a meeting with Home Minister Amit Shah. Later on, Sports Minister Anurag Thakur tweeted and invited them for meeting. This meeting lasted for 6 hours. Now they have come up. I would say it's +1 for the wrestlers as of now. The government has sought time. See, what is the comment that Sakshi has made? Government has sought time till June 15. So they are saying it's the government which is on the back foot as of now. They have sought time that, hey, look, give us time. We will try to figure it out. We will try to solve the situation. But obviously, the government hasn't given, I think, everything out. Action on Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh, that has not been made clear.
Absolutely.
They have been given, but at least it's a victory for them. And secondly, I would say, Kabir, this whole aspect needs to be seen in from 3 different parts of it. First of all, obviously, the protest that is gaining momentum, more support. Secondly, the Jat and the Khaps that are coming into support, that factor is also gaining momentum.
Rohit, Bajrang Punia says that dialogue happened and that is very important. Dialogue must constantly happen. That's something that he's very happy about.
Dialogue has been happening since the start of the protest, when I was covering live from in January when the protest actually started for News9. And at that very time, they were not convinced with whatever Anurag Thakur or any other people from the Federation were telling, that even the IOA, PT Usha even gave assurances that she will look into the matter and have an ad hoc committee formed. But none of these things actually helped in the result. Right now also, as of now, I don't see anything. It's a stalemate. There is no result. They are waiting for the investigation to be completed, which has not been done as of now. It's still in its initial process, and I don't see anything happening. So maybe the wrestlers thought that maybe this is the only way that things can move forward in the case.
Well, absolutely, and he's importantly pointed out to this to the fact of how it is delayed. This meeting that Anurag Thakur did. And even the last time the sports minister met with the protesting wrestlers, and especially Bajrang Punia came out and he said that, the minister barely spent any time with us. And we were so intimidated throughout. There were, top-notch officials and administrative heads that were sitting right next to us. There wasn't a free conversation that happened. The minister came, he sat down with us and he instantly left. It has come, albeit it has come a little bit delayed. But now, I think it's safe to say, Pankaj and Rohit both, that the ball is now, I know we're changing the sport here, but the ball is now in, the government's court.
Absolutely. Yes, Rohit, please go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to add there that, I don't know, from manhandling of these female wrestlers to everything, I don't know how they have come to this point that they have agreed to all their demands of the government. But it is, one thing is very, very clear, that either the government high-handedness has won this case, or they have understood that they don't have any proof against Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh to actually implicate him in this case.
Rohit, an interesting point that you were making about the evidence in this particular case. And let's not forget, it's not easy to submit or bring about evidence of sexual harassment or in a POCSO case, right? The idea is that the accused, the onus of proving their innocence lies on the accused itself. But there are so many, so many sips between the cup and the lip when you look at this particular case. Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh, a history sheeter, POCSO case, several other cases. How much punishment? Can it be an arrest? What are the conditions for arrest? And at the bottom line, you've got your Olympians, the Gower medalists. They've brought laurels and name to the country. And the way with which they've been dealt with is something that has been looked down upon. But now, what you're suggesting, and I'm thinking about it quite seriously, the points that you were talking about. Throw some more light on the evidence factor that you're talking about here.
Like one of the wrestlers had mentioned that in the cause of just checking their breathing pattern, this guy goes on and just touches their chest. One of those wrestlers, they had come out in the open and talked about it. But the point is, how do you prove that? It's just an allegation. And maybe these wrestlers have realized that just making allegations is not going to help them in taking the investigation further. And the minors taking their case back shows that they have arrived at this decision that this is not going further for them in any which way. And Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh has been coming out in the open and again talking about bring any proof against me or hang me. I have no problems with that, which tells how much confident he is about not having enough proof against him.
And Pankaj, how are you looking at the developments now? We've seen visuals, we've seen both sides. You spoke about how there is no photo op that's come out as of yet. The wrestlers left separately. If there was any understanding, you're right that there could have been a joint statement, a joint press conference of sorts. But I think Anurag Thakur also, if he has made the right kind of moves, would be excited about telling the High Command that, I have been able to pacify or placate the wrestlers. It has been put on hold. This is going to be sidelined for till at least the 15th of June.
See, the situation here, Kabir, this 6-hour-long meeting is very crucial here. And the outcome, as we are seeing from the body language, or could be the mix-up of the visuals from the sources. But the way it appears as of now is very clear. There has been no agreement arrived at as of now. And it's a time-buying exercise from the government side and not from the wrestler side. Because the wrestlers have actually stuck their neck out, they have cast their die, they have put their cards on the table that look, this is what we want and this is how things would be. Now government is actually, because they have to attend to the situation because of 3-4 reasons that I was mentioning. The first and foremost being more and more credible voices, sports persons, celebrities joining the bandwagon and asking the government to take note. Secondly, the probe of Delhi police. It has also started as of now. It hasn't reached anywhere. Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh has been interrogated twice. That's what the sources told us. Yesterday, a police team had gone to Gonda, one of the residences, one of the houses of Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh, where he had actually suggested that place as the alibi on the day of the crime that the wrestlers were alleging. So that's one aspect of it, the police probe. The third part is the support of the cops and the jats that these wrestlers primarily from Haryana are getting. Now, if I just read through the headlines that we have, whole Haryana will march to Delhi. Khap leaders from 21-member panel to decide on wrestlers' protest. Khap Mahapanchayat called at Phogat Sisters village in Haryana on Thursday. So all these things are indicative of a fact that another if not bigger, then another farmers protest like situation could be waiting on the anvil for the government on its doors.
Why not? Why not? I mean, you already have Bharatiya Kisan Union leader Rakesh Tikait in Haryana's Karnal coming out on record and saying that an agitation bigger than the one in Delhi, which he's pointing back to the farmers' protest against the now repealed farm laws. He says a bigger one than what happened in Delhi will have to be undertaken for MSP. This is not about the wrestlers' protest, but Rakesh Tikait is making sure that the farmers is dabdaba, the farmers is rutba and aura, and their pressure tactics and power should not be undermined.
If the farmers arrive at the doorsteps of Delhi, be it for the MSP, today in the cabinet meeting, the centre has increased the MSP, but only
the
for
MSP, you're right.
only for Kharif crops.
Yep.
Now, even though if the farmers come to Delhi's doorsteps, this particular issue is such an emotive issue, especially with elections in Haryana very soon. This could snowball into another headache. There we have the minister also.
He's getting ready to speak. He's getting ready to speak.
But in none of the frames, you see, I mean, if you look at no visible signs of any sort of breaking of the deadlock or any headway being made, looks like he has to share his side of the story. And trust me, government has also extended all the help that they could as far as this case is concerned. They were allowed to protest at Jantar Mantar, yes. They were arrested and they were filed with charges only when they tried to break the barricades on May 28th when the new parliament building was being inaugurated. All those things government has allowed them to do. So for government side, it's a clear slate that, hey, look, police is probing the matter. We have filed the FIR. We allowed you to protest. What more do you want us to tell? Let the law take its own course. So that way, this is the point that he would be making, I think, very soon. That he
all right.
want
And even before he speaks, let's quickly ask Rohit this one particular question. 11th of June is what I picked up from my sources, was that the wrestlers were planning a Mahapanchayat of their own. It was either in Rajasthan or Haryana somewhere. Is that still on the cards? Has that been put on temporary hold? Because 15th of June, we're going to have to wait till what the government comes up with. And 11th of June, the wrestlers said that they're going to carry out their own Mahapanchayat. It's both how you're looking at the developments. Anurag Thakur saying that the talks were positive. There was due agreement between both the parties. There is going to be a charge sheet that's going to be filed by 15th, WFI elections by 30th June, and an internal complaints committee that is going to be headed by a female. But several other demands that Bajrang Punia and Sakshi Malik and their team had put forth, the government hasn't really come out clean on all of it, albeit at the right at the start, your initial thoughts at these developments.
Look, at the heart of all this issue is that there is a serious trust deficit between the wrestlers and the government or the wrestling federation. So if there is a result out after June 15th, it will be very clear. Now, it all depends on what the charge sheet will say. Now, if the charge sheet indicates Brij Bhushan, then obviously there's a set of action. If I am to predict or if I am to interpret what Mr. Amit Shah has said, the law will take its course. We are all aware the law actually never takes its course. It can change from time to time. And you actually don't know how long the law will take its course. But the fact remains that Brij Bhushan's 3 tenures are over and there will be a new set of people who will be in charge at WFI. Whether that addresses the problems of the wrestlers, it is not clearly known. Now, whether the new set of coaches, whether a woman coming in and heading up probe or heading up body will actually solve the mess, those are unanswered questions. As far as Anurag Thakur's comments, these comments could have come before also. That the police will file a charge sheet. These things could have come before. I would imagine that the Home Minister has played the role of a catalyst, a positive catalyst at that, and the fact that things have started to move in a direction, whether it's in the favor of the wrestlers or it's in favor of, or it's just time-wasting tactics, time-buying tactics, that time will only say. But the fact remains that there is some positive direction. It all remains whether the wrestlers remain cool about it, whether they remain steadfast as far as their training is concerned, and they do not waste their time because this is the year of the Asian Games. They need to prepare for the Asian Games, and of course, they need to prepare for the Olympics, which is exactly 1 year from now. So, all seems to be a little hunky-dory at the moment. Let's wait till June 15th and see what comes.